welcome to the third episode of the official review. Um, this is going to be a little bit of a different format than what we've been doing, so definitely give us some feedback on how you like it. We're going to start out with a little NBA headline rundown, and then we'll move on to another segment where we determine if NBA teams are a good team or just a good story. And then we'll wrap it up with our fantasy draft of games to play in school on your laptop. So without further ado, we'll kick it off with a little headline rundown. So earlier this week, Jason Tatum had a quote basically just saying once they got into the bubble, he was starting to see some players play a lot better, and you're saying, like, hold on, they don't normally play like that. They're acting a little different in the bubble. It was also on the same podcast with Tyler Hero. So people are speculating if it was a shot at Hero or TJ Warren or players like that. So Gunnar, if you want to start, what your reaction is to that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the no fans, it takes a lot of the pressure off the players. I mean, they, with like a crowd like either booing or cheering for the opposite team if they're playing an away game, I think that really has an effect on the stress levels and of the players. So guys like Tyler Hero and TJ Warren, they might be able to hit their shots a little bit easier when there's not a crowd screaming in their ear.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I remember before the bubble even started, a lot of NBA analysts saying that playing in the bubble is like playing in an open gym, that it takes away some of the depth or like lack of depth perception that the players get inside a crowded arena. And they said some of those role players and shooters are going to be shooting a lot better. So I wouldn't read really too much into that. Next headline, Bradley Beal has definitely expressed some frustration. He's had 101 points in his last two games that both ended in losses to the Celtics and the Sixers, where he dropped 60 points. He ended the press conference after the Celtics game saying that the Wizards can't guard a parked car. Gunnar, what you got to say about that?
Yeah, that's not a good sign for Wizards fans. I think that he's getting very disgruntled right now. He might not like playing next to Russell Westbrook at all because Russell Westbrook takes away, even though he's been scoring points, I think he might not like Russell Westbrook. He might want to be main option or maybe even just go to a different team with better players around him. So for Wizards fans, that's not a great sign at all. Yeah,
no, I think Bradley Beal has said that he wants to stay in Washington, but I think continuing to just lose is definitely making him a little upset, and some of those rumors this offseason could come back. I think Russell Westbrook going into the season, I thought he could kind of bring the Wizards a little bit of energy and something that they haven't had in the past few years, but they've definitely stumbled pretty hard out the gate, and it kind of continues to prove that Russell Westbrook and another star don't really work well together like we saw in OKC and Houston. So next headline, Kyrie sat during the 76ers game last Thursday. I think he said he just didn't want to play or didn't feel like it. Personally, for me, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, he's a star. He doesn't really want to play. I can get it. He's definitely injury prone, and I feel like I don't really mind him not playing that game. And look at all those COVID cases at the Sixers. Maybe he just made the right decision there. I think if it was you can't be doing that if you're like a Robert Williams or something like that. You definitely can't be doing that. But I think if you're a player of Kyrie's level, it doesn't really matter.
I'm going to take the opposite stance of you. I'm going to say that this is a big deal because I don't know what it is about Kyrie. He does think he's smarter than everyone else, and he's got a big ego. and you saw with the Celtics and even with the Cavs that he just has his ego gets in the way sometimes. And if he doesn't feel like playing against a good team like the 76ers, it'd be one thing if he was playing like the Cavs or the Pistons. Like he could sit out that game. It's like load management, just like Kawhi does. Or if it was like a back-to-back. But he was sat out versus a good team. Frank, like the Sixers lost anyways, but he should want to we should want the best for his team. And without KD, I think he would want to play and give his team the best chance to win, even though they won anyways. But yeah, I don't think that's a good sign for Nets fans or anything or any fans really. I think he might just be like an Antonio Brown of the NBA. I mean, just have a huge ego, and just that gets in the way, and he's always a cancer, and he's just kind of crazy. So,
moving on. Last night, LaMelo Ball becomes the youngest player ever to record a triple-double. The night after, he made kind of a stupid play at the end of a decently close game with the Pelicans where there was like 1 second left and he got the ball and he tried to pass it to get his 10th assist. So,
yeah.
I mean, other than that, though, I think Melo Ball the past few games has definitely shown that he belongs to the NBA and will definitely be one of the great players going forward. And then just recording that triple-double, youngest player ever, that's just, it's super impressive.
Yeah. He actually took Markelle Fultz's record somehow. Like Markelle Fultz with the Sixers, somehow he was the youngest guy to record a triple-double, even with how bad he was. He got like 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Like he barely got it, but
yeah, it's one of those Draymond Green triple-doubles.
Yeah, like the one with like 8 points, and he still gets he gets the steals and the assists and the rebounds, but he actually got the points. But he took Markelle Fultz's record. It's a good sign. I mean, LaMelo Ball had some really, really bad games to start the season. He got I think he got 0 points or like 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, no, his first game he had 0, yeah.
Yeah. That was not a great showing, especially with how he looked in the preseason. But
but he's been scoring the ball better, and
yeah,
I think just growing pains of being a rookie point guard. But I think that's definitely a good sign, that triple-double, and definitely treading in the right direction.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't turn out like his brother. Just being
exactly. All right, so now we'll switch gears into our next segment, good team or good story. So we're going to address some of the teams that came out to a hot and unexpected start this season. And so we'll just voice our opinions whether we think it's legit, like a good team, or just a good story. So first team up is the Magic. I think that Markelle Fultz injury definitely kind of bumps them down to good story. I think they could have been scratching at the playoffs there, but I think if you're looking at only Terrence Ross and Vucevic to get your points, I don't see you.
No, thank you.
A lot of success.
Yeah, they're not. They might make the 8 or 7 seed just because the East is so bad, but I think they're just a good story at this point in the season. With Vucevic being your best player, I mean, you're not a good team. Like you should be your 3rd or 4th best player.
Moving on, next team, we got the Knicks at 5-5. They came out to a hot start, and they were, I think, 5-2 or 4-2 at one point. Julius Randle's been playing really good, and they seem to have a total steal in Emmanuel Quickley at guard. But I don't know if it's going to last. They just had like 2 straight losses. And I think maybe they could fight to get maybe that 10 spot and maybe end up playing. But I think if Julius Randle's leading your team, there's only so far you can go, even in the East.
Yeah, it's a similar story with as the Magic with the Knicks. They got some young pieces. They got Kevin Knox and the guy from Dayton. I forget his name.
Toppin, yeah.
Yeah, Toppin. Yeah, they got him. They just got to get these guys going. They got to give them. They got to get playing time. I mean, they're going to get playing time. They got to figure stuff out. They just got to get those guys. They got to find a steal basically quickly. He might be that guy, but they got to find a superstar. And guys really haven't been wanting to go to the Knicks just because of their ownership and stuff. But hopefully they can figure that stuff out.
Moving on, we got the Cavs in 5-5. For me, this one's pretty close, but I'm going to go good story. Out the gate, Darius Garland and Colin Sexton have been looking great. Colin Sexton might have a case for most improved, or in that duo, whatever they want to call themselves, like Sexland or something. But I mean, I think they're a good story. Another like borderline playoff team, maybe when Kevin Love comes back. But I think they're a good story, but they're definitely treading in the right direction as a team.
Yeah. When they drafted Garland, I wasn't a big fan of that fit with Sexton, especially since they're both smaller guys.
Yeah, you got two really small guards.
What's that?
You just got two really small guards there, and you got teams with like 6'10", 6'7" point guards now. So
yeah, they're both like 6'1", and I think Sexton's the one playing shooting guard right now. But I didn't like that fit, but they've been proving me wrong a little bit. They've been playing well together. They got Drummond last year. Drummond, he's always going to be a beast on the boards. He's going to lead the league in boards, rebounds per game. But he's not great at defense really, or offense, of course. But then they got some guys. They got Love. He's always injured, but when he's in there, he's fine. He's a good shooter and stuff. And they got some other pieces like Larry Nance and those guys. But I don't know. I think they're just I agree. I think they're just a good story. They're not going to do any damage. They might sneak into the playoffs, but beyond that, I don't think they're very good.
Yeah. Moving on, at 4-5 right now are the Atlanta Hawks. I would consider this a good team. I think they've got a lot of good pieces, and Bogdanovich, and then obviously you have your John Collins, Clint Capella, Trae Young, and then players like DeAndre Hunter and Kevin Huerter stepping up from time to time. I think if you have players like Cam Reddish, if he develops into what he can be, and then returning Rajon Rondo some point soon, I can see this team really taking off in the next couple of years.
Yeah, they got a lot of good young talent. Like Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. They got those two guys. I mean, Reddish hasn't been great. The Hunter hasn't been great, but they got to try and find unlock some potential there. But aside from that, Trae Young, he's been great. He's kind of proven that he's not just an empty stats guy on a bad team. And they got the Capella, they got Clint Capella, who didn't play for them last year, but he's been good. And of course they got some other pieces too, aside from him, like Huerter, like good shooter and Huerter. But yeah, I think they're a good team. I think they'll probably be up like fifth or sixth seed. They could win a round or two, or probably just one round. But I think they're a good team.
All right, and then that brings us to our final team, the Charlotte Hornets. Offseason, they acquired Gordon Hayward and drafted LaMelo Ball. They've had great play out of Terry Rozier this year so far. Devontae Graham hasn't had the same role that he took last year, but I think this is a good team. They've got a lot of solid guards, and I think with the leadership of like Gordon Hayward on that team, and as LaMelo Ball continues to develop, I can see this team definitely getting a playoff spot. Yeah,
they'll probably make the playoffs this year. Hayward, I mean, they gave him. He's worth. They gave him a little bit too much money. He's not a max player, but he did with the Jazz, he's able to get like average over 20 points a game and kind of carry a team, and he goes well at LaMelo. So yeah, I think they're a good team. They'll probably make the playoffs. I don't know if they'll win a round, but they're a good team. I think no teams will wants to play the Charlotte Hornets. Like, they're not like the Pistons or any team like that where you're just like, oh, okay, let's go. We get to play the Pistons. We're gonna have an easy win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they put up a challenge against every team they play.
Yeah, I mean it's a small market. It's hard to get any really big free
especially
agents. So I guess Hayward is a way, in a way, it's kind of a win for them. But
yeah.
I think they're just gonna have to keep developing those young guys that they got, and yeah, I can see them definitely sneaking into the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, and then this is gonna lead us into our final segment of the day. This is gonna be our little fantasy draft. So it'll be a snake draft of games in school that you'd play on your laptop. We're talking like Snake, Agario, 2048, games like that. So let's snake it. We'll each get 5 picks. Gunnar, you want to start or you want second and third?
No, yeah, I'll start. I want the first overall pick.
All right.
So yeah, with the first overall pick, I'm gonna select none other but Google Snake. It's a great game to play. It's really it's really like a fun game to play. I mean, you can be listening to the lesson and playing Snake at the same time. It's a great multitasking game. And it's fun. I've gone up to the hundreds in Snake before in the games, only to have it be ruined by the teacher coming up behind my laptop, and I have to close a tab. But yeah, it's a great game, great multitasking game. If you still want to take in some of the information that your teacher's telling you. So yeah, that's my first overall pick.
Yeah, 100%. Great go-to game. 5 minutes left in class. Don't have enough time to maybe get into a game like an Agario or something like that, but Snake is definitely a go-to quick game. 100%. Great pick. My second, so I got the second pick. My first pick, I'd like to claim the Papa's Pizzeria, that whole franchise. Amazing game. I feel like you just spend a whole day on there, just grinding it out. Can get frustrating at times, but I think that is a great way to burn time in class. And you get to customize your shop, customize your player. It's great overall game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've spent hours playing those games. It's really fun. You can save your progress. It's awesome because you can just keep coming back to it. If the teacher catches you or something, you have to close a tab. That no big deal. You'll just get reset to the day you were just on, and you get to keep going from there. So it's great. It's a great game. You can upgrade your shop and stuff, and then if like I said, if the teacher comes, no big deal. Your progress will be saved. So yeah.
All right, and then I'm snaking, so I'll take my second pick right now. Pretty easy pick for me. I'm gonna go with Agario, all-time classic. Just play it over and over. It never gets old. Team up with your buddies. There's tons of different game modes. Not a lot to be said there, honestly. That's my second pick.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great game. Yeah, I've gotten really high up. I've gotten to number 1 on the leaderboard countless times. Yeah, it's really addicting game.
100%.
Yeah, and so for my second pick, the fourth overall pick, I'm gonna have to pick Survivio. The only reason why I think this has dropped so much, for me at least, is because it's really risky because you have to spam your trackpad, especially when you're playing on a laptop without a mouse or even with your mouse. You're gonna have to spam it to get those shots off and kill the other players. It's like Fortnite but 2D or like Warzone. It's 2D. It's a 2D version of that. It's fun, but when it comes to spamming your mouse, you might attract a teacher's attention, which is not good, obviously. And of course, if your teacher comes behind your computer and comes to look, you have to exit out quick. And if you're close to getting that chicken dinner on Survivio, that really hurts. I mean, it hurts when the class is winding down and you're top 5 and you have to, the bell rings and you got to move to the next class and you got to exit out. You just got to peel the Band-Aid off and just to leave the game when you're about to get that chicken dinner. So
no, it's all the time. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's a high risk, high reward game.
Yeah.
No, it makes a lot of sound clicking. draws a lot of attention.
Yeah.
It's good for like something like an art class or something that like doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
when you're bored, you're just trying to sneak in a game. It's pretty tough, and yeah, just high risk, high reward though.
Yep.
Great pick right there.
Thank you.
So now you're sneaking, right?
Yeah. I gotta make my next pick here. So with the next pick, I'm gonna pick 2048, which is another game similar to Snake. I guess it's one of those games where you can kind of just if you have it downloaded as an app, you can just have it up on your screen and quickly click off into the background onto what you should be on, which is like a Google Doc or something, or Google Classroom. You can quickly click off. Your progress will still be saved. It'll be hidden behind the window. I've gone 2048 countless times. It's really fun. I mean, it's a good brain game. It makes you think, gets the brain working even when your brain should be working on your Spanish homework. Yeah, it's a awesome game. Great game for just killing time and be able to multitask and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be making for my third selection.
Yeah, no, great pick. Reaching that 2048 milestone it's an undescribable feeling, honestly. Great practical game as well.
Yep.
All right, so you just took some pretty good options right there. I feel like I'm gonna take this pick. Not everyone's third pick, but I'm gonna go Duck Life with my third pick. Freshman year, put a lot of time. I beat every single Duck Life. I've had multiple ducks. It's nice. You can have multiple ducks. You train them. It's great for killing time. It's mindless. However, it is very high risk. There's a lot of clicking. There's a lot of spamming the space bar. And it has resulted in few detentions for me. In the first week, freshman year, I got my computer taken away. But it's worth it. It is. Every single one of those ducks you form a real connection with. You get to name them, dress them up. Just overall, great game.
Yeah. A little off the board to me because I haven't really been playing that game much. I haven't been able to play that game at school yet. So I respect your opinion on it, though, even though I haven't been able to play it. But for me, it's a little off the board. Not going to lie.
Yeah, no, I definitely think I caught a few people off guard there. But regardless, just take my word. Definitely try it out.
Yeah.
So my fourth pick, I am now going to take Cool Math Chess. This is a great game, great mind game. Multiplayer as well. You just send your friend the code, opposite side of the room. It gets competitive. It's a great way to pass time in class. And while you're passing time, you're getting smarter, You're working your brain a little. So win-win kind of game. It's easy to hide. It saves your progress. And that's definitely worthy of my number 4 pick.
Yeah. It's a great game. For my number, was it my number 5
Four.
pick or yeah, it's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for my number 4 pick, I'm gonna have to go with Slither.io. It's a great similar to Agario, except with snakes. It's really fun. I mean, it can get frustrating at times when you just find a big snake and you run into it by mistake and then you lose everything. Or when you got tryhards in the game when they have a really big snake and they just surround you and there's no way to escape and you know you're gonna die, but you just are slowly consumed by the bigger snake. It's really unfortunate sometimes. But it's not very risky. You don't make a lot of noise doing it. You just use your mouse to control your snake. But yeah, it's a lot similar to Agario, but yeah, it's another game where you can dump hours into it over the course of the school year. So yeah, that's going to be my number 4 pick.
Definitely respect that pick. From my outside view, personally, I haven't had the best time with I'm oftentimes, as Gunnar said, I'm faced with that slow and painful death due to the wrap technique. Yeah, it's I've definitely shed a few tears, gotten quite upset over Slither. So I just personally couldn't put that on my list.
Oh yeah, I respect your opinion.
Yeah, but I respect the pick. I know it's a very popular game. Just it just doesn't fit right with me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We can agree to disagree there. And then my number 5 pick is going to be none other than Run, the series collectively. Run 1, 2, and 3. I had most fun with 3 personally. Could be different for other people, but it's another. It kind of fell for me because you got to spam the space bar again. And it can sometimes get frustrating, especially when you get to the higher levels. It gets really frustrating when you keep on barely missing it, getting to the next level. But yeah, it's a good, like, if you're in study hall or something. It's not a bad game to play just to pass the time, especially if you don't feel like doing any of your schoolwork during study hall. It's a good game.
Yeah, no, can't disagree with that. It's a great franchise. Run 3 for me also takes the cake. That's the best run. For my 5th pick, I was going to go with Club Penguin. I thought it was a little controversial because it was like taken down. It's no longer exists, but there are hacked versions and like fake versions that I've enjoyed. I'm deciding against putting it on the list just due to it's a little controversial. That being said, with my 5th pick, I'm going to be taking Balloons TD5. This is a game that you can grind out. I was actually grinding this game out during the days leading up to Christmas break. Both me and friend of the podcast, Sam Dullman, were grinding this out in Dr. Spadaro's class. Yeah, no, this is you level up all the monkeys. You just reach high levels. It's a very satisfying game, popping all the balloons, and overall, just a game you can spend a lot of time on.
Yeah, for sure. I actually haven't been able to play. I haven't been able to play that game yet. We'll probably try it out in the coming days. Now that you mention it, sounds like a really fun game. That might be a good go-to game for during the class and stuff. I mean, that sounds like an awesome game. So I'm definitely gonna be giving that a look.
Yeah, and then I just want to mention some honorable mentions. We had Bloxors on there.
Yeah.
Just all IO games. Those are some of the best games ever.
Yep.
Big Head Sports, particularly the basketball one. That is a great game to grind. It is a little high risk though.
Yep. I just want to thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that last segment there. Let me know if you want us to do more of them. We'll put them at the end of every podcast if you want that. Yeah, a lot of fun. This podcast was a lot of fun to make. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on our social medias. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Give us some feedback on that last little segment, and give us any categories if you want.
Yeah, true. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next episode.
See you.